Hey, Kathleen, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Dominik, so much for having me here at HMI.
So I know the big theme that we're looking at here is the overall story of industrial transformation and how AI is becoming part of that. Can you talk to us about that?
Yes, Dominik, you and I have been in the industry for a long time, and we've been talking about different types of transformation.
Yes.
First, digital transformation, Industry 4.0, Industry 5.0, and now industrial transformation. And I finally feel that we're at a point where we can actually achieve that industrial transformation that our customers have been, really dreaming of for a long time. And the reason why I'm so excited about it is because if you think about the technology that's required to really transform a company, not just one individual department, but the value chain across engineering, across manufacturing, across service, across the supply chain, there's multiple technologies that are needed to do that. And I feel that the technology has finally reached a level of maturity, whether it's cloud, whether it's edge, whether it's hybrid, whether it's IoT, whether it's 5G, and of course, data and AI, that now you have these new technologies with generative AI, but the foundation has already been set with the technologies that we've been working on for years. So I feel that customers can move at a pace like we've never seen before. Again, not just because of data and AI, but because of the maturing of the other underlying technologies.
Kathleen, I love how you talk about all these different technologies coming together. And I think that's also what's very well demonstrated in our booth, right? About the convergence of like all these different things. You also talked about, having been in the industry a long time and you've been an executive at PTC. Now you're at Microsoft, talk about like how you see our approach with the partner ecosystem at Microsoft.
Yes, I mean, I really love Microsoft's approach to the partner ecosystem. And I think I'll address that from two different angles. First, as a former partner, part of the value of working with Microsoft is the underlying technology platforms that Microsoft provided, the horizontal platforms such as, cloud and edge and IoT. And when Microsoft provided those technologies, I didn't need to have my development teams building horizontal platform. And they could really focus on what was our unique value, which was the domain expertise and really understanding a customer's, manufacturing processes, engineering, manufacturing, service. So I could put more time and effort into my differentiated value prop as a partner. And then now being on the Microsoft side, it complements, it works both ways. Microsoft's strength, we're a horizontal platform company, and we have this broad partner ecosystem that not only has unique differentiated technology for different business functions, but then also has really strong relationships in the complete value chain, where Microsoft, we're a large company, but again, our value is providing that underlying Microsoft cloud, and we rely on the partners for the really specific domain expertise. The other thing I really like, both from being on the partner side and on the Microsoft side, is it's not just the partner and Microsoft, but the complete ecosystem. Here at our booth, I think we have 24 different partners at the booth here, but many of them, the demonstrations are them coming together. Not just Microsoft and the one partner, but an ecosystem of partners together. And I think that really helps customers because they don't need to work with each company individually. It's all of us coming together to help them achieve their goals and business outcomes.
I mean, to me also, this is a key part of how we approach manufacturing, to basically meet customers where they are with the technology they already have in their environment, right? And not having to add another thing, right? It basically all comes with the partners they already love working together with.
That is an excellent point, Dominik.
Lots of news at HMI. Like, what are the highlights like this year?
What are the highlights? Okay, so Dominik, that's kind of like asking me to choose my favorite child. There's so much excitement going on at HMI, going on with Microsoft and our partners. So I don't think I can choose just one highlight, So I'm going to choose just a couple to share. The first one is, actually, I think what we have behind us here, so some of the demonstrations on how we're using AI in the factory. So we recently announced the Copilot for factory operations. And what I love about that Copilot, which is AI for the factory, is how it scales up and how it scales down. So if I'm a plant manager, I can look at things such as the OEE of my entire factory, but then also, it's also providing technology for the frontline worker. So if I want to understand as a frontline worker maintenance that needs to be done on a particular machine, I can use the Copilot and talk to it in natural language and get step-by-step instructions. So I love that for the factory. Now, the former fashion designer in me also loves the possibilities with using AI for generative design. I just think that is mind-blowing. If you think about the possibilities with using generative design to come up with different design options, think about how much time that saves an engineer. So I think that's really going to drive innovation in ways that we have never seen before. And then I think the last highlight would be when you bring this all together. There's a great Volvo demo, I think, over on that side, where we're bringing together AI, we're bringing together mixed reality, we're bringing together HoloLens, just IoT, all of it together. That's, I think, really where the strength is. And going back to where we started on how do you drive industrial transformation, it's putting all these technologies together to impact every part of the value chain.
Yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff for sure. So thanks a lot, Kathleen, for the amazing collaboration, bringing all of this together here. I'm super excited about everything we have to show. And thank you for joining us today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I love the energy and excitement at HMI, and I'm really excited about the possibilities.
Hi, we're here at the Siemens exhibit. I have the privilege of being with Rainer Brehm. He's the CEO of Factory Automation at Siemens. And thank you, Rainer, for being here today.
Thanks for having me here, Dominik.
Well, let's maybe start by, can you explain what your solution is about?
Well, I'm really excited because we have been here last year as well on your booth, and we showed a little bit of demo, and now it gets much more concrete. So what we have here is a robot arm, and it's picking something. That's nothing wow special, but the thing is, it's picking something with AI. So that thing can pick random pieces. So you don't need to train a piece. It can look at the shape of the piece, identify where to grasp it and put it there. Why is that important? Because it makes automation flexible. You can suddenly automate something you have not programmed before, leveraging AI. Now on top of that, we put generative AI, where you can now interact with that robot. You can get a diagnostic, why is it not working, and the machine gives you the feedback. So it's a much easier interaction, which makes automation faster and more flexible.
And it's all through natural language?
And that's also like language, or you type it in, whatever you want to do,
Okay.
That's important because the main topic on automation currently is you don't find people who can program automatic.
Yes.
You don't find people who want to work in the factory. So the lack of skilled worker is really a main issue. And with that, I think we can really enhance automation also in high-cost countries. Because we want to produce where the consumption is. We don't want to ship products around the world anymore. That's not sustainable. So therefore, that's a big lever in this direction.
Okay, I can see how that makes a lot of sense. And I also know Siemens has a big vision on generative AI, where this is like an important part of it. Like how does the larger vision look like?
Yeah, absolutely. What we see here is GenAI in the operations phase. When you operate a machine or plant or line, we have operations in the engineering phase. You can write the code for that controller using GenAI. You can do the visualization using GenAI, the documentation with GenAI, the testing with GenAI. So the complete engineering phase is supported by generative AI with Microsoft. But the vision is much bigger. It starts with a product design. So basically, we are using generative AI in the product design. There was a great reference together with Harting and
Harting
Microsoft.
case, I love
yes,
the Harting
exactly.
case. Awesome.
Where you basically generated a connector automatically in a given frame, and then it was 3D printed. So that is great.
Yeah.
Then we use generative AI when I have a product, you want them to produce it, design of the factory, design of the machines. We use it there in the operations phase, but also in the service phase. So we have a product called SenseEye, which is now also leveraging the Industrial Copilot in order to make predictive maintenance much easier.
Okay, so you really leverage it across the entire value chain.
Well, we started here and in the design phase, and we spread it out, and we want to connect it.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and it's a great vision. And I know we've been collaborating very closely, and I also had the opportunity to play around with it a little bit this morning. I mean, it is really impressive what you guys have built. Can you talk a bit about like how you're leveraging the Microsoft partnership and our technology?
Well, I think we did that very early on, even before ChatGPT got a hype like January last year. We already were working on that before. And that's the reason we were so fast also showing the first real running thing, not only on PowerPoint, but our proof of concept. So I think we have a very strong collaboration on generative AI, but also on other topics like AI, where we also have great joint customer interactions. So Microsoft, Siemens, and the customer are leveraging it, using it, working close together. And this since already, 35 years, Siemens and Microsoft.
Indeed, there's a long history. And I have to say, I'm always very impressed by the work your engineering teams are doing on top of our stack. So, I mean, thanks so much for doing that. Well, in closing, maybe, I mean, you talked about Harting in the design phase, like for the operations part, we're seeing here, like what are the success stories that are most interesting to share?
One customer we really worked together very closely was a machine builder. That's the company Schaeffler, because we really want to build something which they can use and that helps them. So, and we signed the MOU with Schaeffler at this fair on Monday. But there are other companies like Grenzebach, like SME, which are already early adopter. Up to now, it's not a product, but we're going to release it as a product, and we release it as a product in July.
Oh, wow.
And then you really scale it out. And if it's a product at Siemens, it's really hardened. It can be used in in all different kind of conditions. So I really think with the product, we then really get scales, and the early adopter will get customers.
I'm really looking forward to the launch and being able to bring it to more customers. Thank you so much, Rainer, for being here today and for like always being at the cutting edge on this together with us. Thank you.
Looking forward what we show the next fair.
That's going to be interesting.
That's going to be interesting. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.